And then I saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin. Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, what? But I see his car there. So I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will. There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing.
What if the glitz of Hollywood was hiding a scandal so dark it could unravel the careers of some of its biggest names? Right now, in a New York courtroom, Sean Diddy Combs is fighting for his freedom, and the shockwaves are hitting far beyond his inner circle. Whispers of secret audio, A-list names like Will Smith and Meek Mill, and a web of allegations are turning this trial into a wildfire that's burning through reputations. Let's dive into the chaos that's got the internet on edge and the courtroom in a chokehold. This all started with Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend, stepping into the spotlight with a story that's nothing short of harrowing. Over 4 intense days on the stand, she laid bare a decade of alleged abuse, painting Diddy as a man who controlled every aspect of her life. She described physical beatings, emotional manipulation, and something called freak-offs, drug-fueled parties where Diddy allegedly forced her into sexual acts with male escorts while he watched, sometimes recording. The prosecution didn't hold back, showing a 2016 hotel surveillance video that's tough to watch. It captures Diddy dragging Cassie down a hallway, her body limp, her face bruised. Jurors looked away, some visibly shaken as Cassie recounted the fear that defined her relationship. She even revealed a $20 million settlement in 2023 to drop a civil lawsuit against him, a move she said was her only way to break free. But this trial isn't just about Cassie anymore. It's grown into a beast, pulling in names and secrets that are shaking the foundations of Hollywood. The courtroom's electric, and what's coming next is even wilder. Cassie's testimony set the stage, but it's the context of Diddy's world that makes this case so explosive. Sean Combs built an empire as a music mogul, fashion icon, and party king. His bad boy label launched legends like Notorious B.I.G., and his Vote or Die campaign made him a cultural force. But behind the flash, there were always whispers, stories of control, intimidation, and artists who left his orbit damaged or disappeared. Mace, The Lox, Day 26, names that faded after crossing Diddy. Aubrey O'Day from Danity Kane has been vocal for years about his dark side, claiming he demanded absolute loyalty and punished those who stepped out of line. Her warnings were brushed off as sour grapes, but now they're echoing in court. Cassie's story isn't new, it's just the loudest. She described a life where Diddy dictated her clothes, her schedule, even her thoughts. One chilling detail, she said he once threatened to make her disappear if she ever spoke out. The prosecution's building a case not just of abuse, but of a pattern. A system of power that kept everyone silent. And that system's starting to crack. The real bombshell hit when the prosecution played audio recordings in court. These weren't just any tapes. They were described as so graphic, so raw that the entire room went silent. No phones were allowed. No recordings permitted. Just a heavy, stunned hush as the clips allegedly featured Diddy, Will Smith, and Meek Mill in compromising situations. Insiders say the audio was undeniably explicit, capturing moments that left no room for misinterpretation. One source claimed it included sounds of a man being assaulted while Diddy laughed in the background. Details so dark they're hard to process. The judge ordered the tapes sealed, and journalists were barred from quoting them directly. That secrecy's turned the audio into a mystery that's driving the internet insane. Ex-posts are buzzing with speculation, some calling it the smoking gun that could bring down more than just Diddy. Others wonder if it's being buried to protect bigger names. Either way, the fact that it's locked away in a world where leaks are common feels like a red flag. What's on those tapes that's got everyone so rattled? Let's talk about Will Smith, because his name in this mess is like throwing a match into a powder keg. Will's always been the golden boy. Fresh. Prince, blockbuster star, family man, but old rumors about him and Diddy are now front and center. Years ago, comedian Luenell made a throwaway joke about them being too close, saying they were clapping each other's cheeks. It got laughs then, but now it's viral, dissected frame by frame on X. Then there's brother Bilal, Will's former assistant, who dropped a bombshell claiming he walked in on Will and Dwayne Martin in a compromising position. He described a graphic scene, Will bent over a couch, Dwayne behind him, no ambiguity. Bilal's story was dismissed as gossip when it first surfaced, but with the alleged courtroom audio, it's gained new life. Will came out swinging, denying it all with, "I ain't nowhere near that man, and I didn't do none of that stupid," but the internet's not buying it. Photos and videos of Will and Diddy are everywhere, hugging at award shows, laughing at parties, standing close like best friends. One clip from a 2010 event shows them whispering, grinning like they share a secret. Fans are tearing it apart, saying every touch, every smile feels like a clue now. Will's already on shaky ground after the Oscar slap. This could be a knockout blow. The internet's reaction to Will's involvement is a whole saga on its own. Ex-users are digging up every old interview, every red carpet moment, and turning them into memes. One viral post shows Will and Diddy at a club, captioned, "What were they really talking about?" Another pulls a 2015 podcast where Will talks about loyalty and friendships, and now it's being twisted to sound suspicious. The speculation's gone beyond gossip. It's like a digital detective agency. Fans are even revisiting old moments with Will and his son Jaden, like those affectionate kisses that once seemed quirky but now feel uneasy to some. The tone's shifted from amusement to straight up discomfort. X posts are flooded with comments like, "Something's always been off," or "Will's not who we thought." The internet's not just curious, it's angry, feeling lied to by a star they trusted. And Will's denial, it's backfired. Every photo of him and Diddy together is a receipt, and the pile's getting higher. If he's on those tapes, this isn't just a PR nightmare, it's a career ender. Meek Mill's caught in the same storm, and he's not handling it well. His name allegedly came up in the courtroom audio, and he's been in full panic mode ever since. His ex feed's a war zone, post after post denying rumors, shouting, "I'm not fruity, stop playing with me." But the louder he protests, the more guilty he looks. Old clips are haunting him, like that birthday party Diddy threw him in 2018. Picture this, a poolside bash, shirtless guys everywhere, Diddy grinning and calling Meek daddy on camera, saying, "I love you, proud of you." It was brushed off as playful then, but now it's a meme that won't quit. Another video from a party with billionaire Michael Rubin shows Meek acting awkward, almost childlike, while someone in the background laughs like they're taunting him. Fans used to joke about Meek being Diddy's intern or pocket, puppet, but those nicknames aren't funny anymore. They're evidence in the court of public opinion. Ex-users are ruthless, flooding his posts with screenshots and clips every time he tries to defend himself. One debunked rumor about a leaked recording of Meek and Diddy got traction before it was shut down, but even that shows how wild the speculation's gotten. Why is Meek fighting so hard to prove he's clean? Let's dive deeper into Meek's world, because his connection to Diddy goes back years. Meek's been tied to Diddy's circle since his early days, mentored by the mogul during his rise with Maybach Music. There were always whispers, jokes about Meek being too loyal, too close. One 2017 interview has Diddy praising Meek's hustle, but the way he says it, lingering on the word, feels different now. Ex-users dug up a clip from a 2019 party where Meek's laughing with Diddy, but his body language seems off, tense, like he's trying to play it cool. The internet's not, letting it slide with comments like, "Meek knew something and he's scared." His frantic X posts aren't helping. One tweet since deleted said, "Y'all believe anything, I'm a real one." But the replies were brutal. Screenshots of him and Diddy at events, side by side, grinning. The internet's turned detective, and Meek's not winning this fight. If his name's really on those tapes, the memes might be the least of his worries.
One thing Dawn said is after she saw Diddy beat Cassie the next day,
he came in the room
and threatened her.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So Dawn is testifying that exactly what she talked about in her civil suit, in addition to some other things that they were in a house in LA in 2009. Diddy beat Cassie because Cassie wasn't finished allegedly making his food on time. And the next day he came in the room to talk to her and her band member, and he basically told them, allegedly that he told them, "Don't say anything. What y'all saw up there was passion. And when people say stuff about things like this about me, they end up missing."
The courtrooms where this all comes to a head, and it's getting packed with voices from Diddy's past. Dawn Richard from his girl group Danity Kane took the stand and dropped a bomb. She said she saw Diddy beat Cassie in 2009 over something. as small as her not having his food ready on time. The next day, he allegedly pulled Dawn and her bandmate aside, saying, "What y'all saw was passion. People who talk about me end up missing. That's not just a threat, it's a glimpse into a world where silence was the price of survival." Dawn's testimony wasn't just emotional, it was a legal gut punch, backing Cassie's claims with firsthand evidence. Other witnesses are stepping up too. Former bad boy artists, ex-staff, people who worked security at Diddy's infamous parties. One ex-employee claimed Diddy had cameras in every room of his mansions, recording everything, and those tapes were used to keep people in line. Another, a former producer, said artists were pressured to sign contracts that gave Diddy near totals control over their careers. Even Diddy's daughter was spotted leaving the courtroom, her face pale, her eyes down right after the audio played. That image hit hard. No defiance, just a young woman carrying the weight of her father's unraveling legacy. Who else is ready to break their silence? These testimonies aren't just about Diddy's actions, they're painting a picture of a whole system. Bad Boy wasn't just a label, it was a machine. Artists like The Lox and Mace have spoken for years about bad contracts and shady deals, but now it's in court, under oath. Aubrey O'Day's been screaming about Diddy's control since she left Danny D. Kane, saying he demanded loyalty tests and fired anyone who questioned him. Back then, she was called bitter. Now she's looking like a whistleblower. One witness, a former stylist, claimed Diddy once fired her for refusing to entertain a guest at a party. Another, a security guard, said he saw women escorted to private rooms during freak-offs, looking scared and confused. The stories are piling up, and they're consistent. Diddy didn't just run a business, he ran a kingdom where fear was the currency. Cassie's not alone, she's just the one who got the spotlight. How many others stayed quiet to survive? The internet's eating this up, and it's not just gossip, it's a full-on investigation. X is a war zone of clips, memes, and theories. One post with thousands of likes shows a 2015 interview where Diddy pauses mid-sentence, smirking like he's hiding something. The caption reads, "He knew we'd figure it out." Another pulls a clip of Will and Diddy at a 2012 event, whispering and laughing, with users commenting, "What was so funny?" The speculation's gone wild, with some saying the audio might name other A-listers. Jay-Z, Usher, even names nobody's connected yet. A debunked rumor about a leaked tape of Meek and Diddy got traction for a hot minute before it was shut down, but it shows how desperate people are for answers. Ex-users are posting old Bad Boy footage, like music videos and behind the scenes clips, looking for clues. One viral thread points out how many Bad Boy artists faded after leaving. Shine, Black Rob, Craig Mack. The theory, Diddy didn't just let people go, he made sure they stayed down. The internet's not just curious, it's obsessed, and it's not letting up. But here's the part that's got everyone spooked. Those tapes haven't leaked. Not a second, not a whisper, not even a blurry courtroom sketch. In a world where iClouds get hacked and court docs hit X within hours, that silence is louder than any headline. Journalists are asking hard questions. Why is evidence this explosive under lock and key? Is it to protect the victims? That's the official line, and it sounds good. But ex-users aren't buying it. They're throwing out theories. Some say, the tapes name too many powerful people, and someone's pulling strings to keep them buried. Others think the government's treading carefully, knowing the fallout could spark lawsuits, bankruptcies, even criminal cases against untouchable names. One insider claimed the audio captures a man being assaulted while Diddy laughs, a detail so chilling it's hard to shake. Another rumor, quickly debunked, suggested a court clerk tried to leak a snippet and got fired. True or not, the fact that people believe it shows how tense this is. Why is this evidence locked tighter than Fort Knox? That silence is fueling a bigger question. Is this about more than Diddy? The trial's peeling back the curtain on Hollywood's dark side, and it's not pretty. Diddy wasn't just a mogul, he was a gatekeeper, woven into hip-hop, fashion, TV, even politics. His parties were legendary. A-listers, billionaires, politicians, all rubbing shoulders. But now, those same parties are under a microscope. Witnesses are talking about private rooms, coded invites, and guests who left looking shaken. Ex-users are digging up old photos. Diddy with Jay-Z, Diddy with Beyonce, Diddy with everyone who's anyone. The speculation's wild. Was this a network? A club where power protected power? Posts on X are calling it Hollywood's open secret, with some claiming Diddy's tapes could name dozens of elites. One thread with thousands of retweets lists celebs spotted at Diddy's parties asking who else knew. The idea of a hidden system, a culture of secrets running unchecked isn't a conspiracy anymore. It's starting to feel real. Let's zoom out and look at Diddy's legacy because it's crumbling in real time. This is a man who built an empire on charisma and hustle. Bad Boy defined 90s hip-hop, launching stars and soundtracking a generation. His fashion line, Sean John, was a status symbol. His TV shows, his vodka brand, his vote or die campaign, he was everywhere. But there were always cracks. Artists like Shine and Black Rob talked about being chewed up and spit out by Bad Boy. Mace said Diddy held his publishing rights hostage for years. Aubrey O'Day's been screaming about his control since 2008, and nobody listened. Now every weird interview, every cryptic comment feels like a red flag. One clip from 2010 has Diddy saying, "I make the rules and I break them." Fans laughed then, now it's chilling. Ex-users are pulling up every Bad Boy artist who fell off, asking if Diddy didn't just manage careers but destroyed them. His bad boy for life image is now a liability, and the courtroom's exposing what was behind it. Will Smith's taking a hit too, and it's brutal. His image as the wholesome superstar is on life support. The Oscar slap already had fans questioning his character. Now this audio rumor's got them doubting everything. Ex-posts are savage. One compares Will to a fallen king. Another says he played us all. If he's on those tapes, it's not just a scandal, it's a demolition. His movies, his brand, his family's reality show empire, it could all collapse. Fans are even re-examining his marriage to Jada, pulling up old interviews where she talks about openness and freedom. What was once quirky Hollywood talk now feels like a clue. The internet's not forgiving, and Will's denials aren't sticking. Every photo with Diddy, every shared stage is a nail in the coffin. If the tapes drop, Hollywood might lose one of its biggest stars. Meek Mill's fighting a different battle, but it's just as ugly. He's not charged with anything, but the court of public opinion's already ruled. His ex rants, calling out haters, swearing he's 100% real, are backfiring. Every post gets swarmed with memes, from the daddy clip to screenshots of him and Diddy at clubs. One ex-user posted a video of Meek looking uneasy at a 2020 event, with Diddy's arm around him, captioned, "He's been scared for years." Meek's always leaned on his Philly tough guy image, but it's cracking. The internet's relentless, and the jokes are turning into accusations. If his name's on those tapes, it's not just his rep at stake, it's his whole career. He's screaming innocence, but the louder he gets, the more guilty he seems. Why is he so desperate to shut this down? The witnesses keep coming, and their stories are stacking up. Beyond Dawn Richard, there's a growing list of voices breaking years of silence. A former Bad Boy intern testified about delivering sealed envelopes to artists, only to see them leave Diddy's office shaken. A security guard claimed he was told to look the other way during late-night parties. One chilling account came from a makeup artist who said she was hired for a freak-off, but left when she saw women being pressured into rooms. These aren't random clout chasers, they're people who were deep in Diddy's world now speaking. Under oath, the prosecution's building a case that Diddy didn't just hurt Cassie, he built a system where abuse was normal and silence was mandatory. Even his family's feeling the weight. His daughter's courtroom exit wasn't just a moment, it was a symbol of a legacy in freefall. How many more will step forward before this is over? The silence around the audio is the real mystery here. We're in an age where nothing stays secret. Court docs leak, celebrity voicemails hit X, even classified files end up online. But these tapes? Nothing. Not a clip, not a whisper, not even a bootleg courtroom recording. That's got X users. And journalists asking the same question, who's keeping this quiet? The official line is that it's to protect victims' privacy, and that makes sense on paper, but the internet's not convinced. Posts on X are throwing out wild theories. Some say the tapes name untouchable names like CEOs or politicians. Others think the music industry's circling the wagons, protecting its own. One X thread with thousands of likes claims a major label exec was at Diddy's parties and is now pulling strings to keep the audio buried. Another suggests the feds are holding back because the fallout could crash entire brands. Diddy's, Will's, even Bad Boy's parent companies. The lack of leaks feels deliberate, like someone with real powers got their hand on the lid. What's so explosive that it's worth this much secrecy? Let's talk about what this means for Hollywood. This trial's not just about Diddy, it's exposing a world where power protects itself. Those parties weren't just parties, they were power plays. A-listers, moguls, influencers, all in one room with Diddy at the center. Witnesses are hinting at coded invites, private rooms, and deals made in whispers. Ex-users are digging up guest lists from Diddy's old white parties, pointing out names like Leonardo DiCaprio, Kim Kardashian, even tech billionaires. The theory? Diddy wasn't just hosting, he was collecting leverage. Those alleged cameras in his mansions weren't for security, they were for control. If those tapes exist and if they name half the names being whispered about, the fallout could be seismic. Lawsuits, bankruptcies, canceled deals, entire empires could fall. Ex-posts are calling it Hollywood's reckoning, and for once, the hype might not be exaggerated. What else was happening behind those velvet ropes? The broader implications are chilling. Diddy's empire was built on connections, music, fashion, media, politics. If he goes down, who else gets pulled in? Ex-users are already speculating about Jay-Z, who's been tied to Diddy since the Bad Boy days. Old clips of them together are trending with comments like, "He's next." Usher, who lived with Diddy as a teen, is another name popping up. One ex-post pulled a 2013 interview where Usher dodges questions about Diddy's mentorship, looking uncomfortable. The internet's connecting dots, and the picture's getting uglier. This isn't just about one man, it's about a culture where fame came with a price. Witnesses are hinting at a network, a system where loyalty meant silence, and silence meant survival. If those tapes ever leak, they could blow the lid off Hollywood's dirtiest secrets. Who else was in on it? Diddy's legacy is on life support, and it's not just about the trial. His brand, built on swagger, excess, and invincibility, is collapsing. Bad Boy's glory days feel like a lie now, tainted by stories of exploitation, his fashion line, his TV shows, his vodka brand. They're all under a cloud. Ex-users are boycotting his products with hashtags like "Are Done with Diddy." Trending, one post summed it up. "He sold us a dream and gave us a nightmare." The cultural impact's huge. Diddy wasn't just a star, he was a symbol of black excellence, of breaking barriers. Now that symbol's cracked and the community's grappling with it. Posts on X, like one from UMBQ magazine, say the trial could change how black celebrity power is viewed forever. They're not wrong, this isn't just a legal fight. It's a cultural earthquake, and the aftershocks are just starting. Will Smith and Meek Mill aren't faring much better. Will's fans are split. Some defend him, saying he's being dragged unfairly, but others are done, calling him a fraud. Ex-posts are brutal, with memes turning his Fresh Prince smile into a symbol of deception. Meek's in a worse spot. His tough guy image is shredded, and the daddy memes are relentless. One ex-user posted a clip of Meek performing, captioned, "He's rapping about the streets but running from Diddy." The internet's not just judging, it's sentencing. Neither has been charged. But in the digital age, perception's everything. If those tapes confirm their names, it's game over. Will's Oscar dreams, Meek's street cred, gone. And the silence from their camps isn't helping. Why aren't they fighting harder to clear their names? The courtroom's still active, and more witnesses are coming. The prosecution's not done. They're reportedly lining up more ex-employees, artists, even former friends. One rumor, unconfirmed but trending on X, says a major rapper's ready to testify about Diddy's parties. Another claims a former assistant has video evidence, not just audio, but it's being held back by the feds. True or not, these stories keep the internet buzzing. Every day brings a new twist, a new name, a new theory. The trial's not just a legal battle, it's a spectacle, and the world's glued to it. Ex-users are live tweeting updates, with accounts like ChrisTM9 posting links to YouTube breakdowns titled "Courtroom Shakes After Audio Drops." The hunger for truth is real, and it's not fading anytime soon. So where does this leave us? Diddy's empire is crumbling piece by piece in real time. Will Smith's golden image is tarnished, maybe beyond repair. Meek Mill's fighting. A losing battle against memes and suspicion. Those audio tapes still locked away are a ticking bomb that could blow up careers, brands, and an entire industry. This trial's not just about one man, it's a mirror held up to Hollywood's darkest corners. The internet's relentless, digging for every clip, every hint, every clue. If those tapes ever surface, they could shake the foundations of fame itself. And the question everyone's asking, what else is hiding behind that velvet curtain? Keep watching, because this story's far from over.